We called it Dash for a Cure because it was a dash around the world. Carol and I sat in the cockpit of the Mooney for 8.5 days to make it around the world. And we called it For a Cure because half of our objective, besides the world record, was to raise donations, raise awareness for ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or Lou Gehrig's disease. This year is the 70th anniversary of Lou Gehrig's retirement from baseball. He retired 70 years ago this year, and we are no further ahead at having a treatment for this disease than we were 70 years ago. And I think that's a big disappointment, and that's why my mother unfortunately died of ALS 7 years ago. And I spend all my time raising awareness and donations for ALS because I want to change that. I want us to find a treatment so that people don't have to suffer as my mother did. It's normally 4 seats. I'll show you how the inside was configured with extra gas to get across the Pacific and across the Atlantic. And it has a Lycoming IO 360 engine. Unfortunately, I would have flown in this morning, but the engine is now making metal, and I'm awaiting another engine. The long established record, it was set in Bonanza. When you're setting a world record, is the total time from when you depart that first airport all the time around the world until you land again. All the ground time, maintenance time, refueling time, sleeping time, all that counts in the total time. Once you take off, the clock is ticking. But you announce ahead of time where you're going to be stopping. So there is an announced distance, and you only get the great circle distance between those points. You can zigzag for airways, you can zigzag for weather. You don't get credit for all that zigzagging. You only get the great circle distance between your stopping points divided by the total actual time. And there is a minimum distance, 36,770 kilometers. You cannot fly up to the North Pole, run around the North Pole, and fly down again. That doesn't count. The minimum distance is the equivalent to the Tropic of Cancer or the Tropic of Capricorn. That constitutes the flight of the longest leg of the trip. Oman to Thailand, Oman to Djibouti, Djibouti to Mali, 3,200 nautical miles, the third longest leg of the trip, to Cape Verde to Orlando, almost 3,300 nautical miles. Absolutely the longest leg of the trip. And I didn't just accept the first one, I went back for more, just to make sure they really, really wanted to say no. And even the medium-sized companies, Mooney, Garmin, Macaulay, King, Bose, Goodyear, S-Tex, 40s, even all of them said no. So it was a pretty depressing time. We did get some donations in, and a lot of companies can donate products. They can't, or they find it more difficult to donate money.
Okay, now it's all over, and she signed in books for us. I'm going to get one about her most recent flight around the world. All the group here in Leesburg, EAA.